take good care of you. We're starting off the show with a guest. We don't really do this, but when you can have like Howard Stern changed up his time to welcome Madonna one day, I know that, and so Murph Barton only has a finite amount of time with us, and he joins us live from Villanova, Pennsylvania. Murph, by the way, how about this shirt, dude?
It's all. I was just about to comment on that. That's amazing. Where'd you get that?
All
The
right,
assassin.
Murph. Huh?
The assassin.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The one problem is he actually did paralyze one guy, so I was thinking like if somebody sees me with this on, would they get pissed? But whatever. You know?
Uh, Nobody remembers that except for you.
What's going on over there at the house? Megan's got you all set up, huh?
She does. Yeah, she hooked me up. She improved the lighting in here. She's letting me use the office, and I'm going to play golf this afternoon. I got a big match.
All right, well
So,
let's get you in the
I'm
mood,
psyched.
okay?
Yeah.
You're here to talk about the PGA Championship, 107th edition, and it's going to be in Quail Hollow. I want to start with the course in Charlotte. Any golfer in particular that this course favors?
I mean, Rory has owned this golf course. Jordan Spieth the other day was joking around with them. Rory said to Jordan, "I hope you get it. I hope you get the Grand Slam because all Jordan needs is to win the PGA to complete the Grand Slam." And Jordan said, "No chance. It's not going to happen at Rory McIlroy Country Club." I mean, he's won, I think, 3 or 4 times there. He's every time he plays, he does well. It really sets up well for him. It's a super long golf course. There's a couple holes with dog legs where if you can really drive the ball like Rory you can kind of cut corners and hit it over the trees and shorten the length of the hole. And Rory, Bryson, maybe one or two other guys are capable of doing that. So it's a big advantage for him.
How do these guys attack a course like that plays long? Like guys who don't normally typically have long drives or, hit long.
They struggle. It's tough. I mean, they really have to play extremely well. I saw something that the average length of an approach shot at Quail Hollow is 183 yards, which is really long. I mean, it's tough to get it close to pins from that distance. And a guy like Rory or Bryson, if the average is 183, they might be 143, which is a wedge, rather than a 6 iron. So that's a huge advantage. The other guys just have to hit fairways. If you're playing from the rough from 200 yards away, you're not going to win.
Okay, so you mentioned Rory and Scotty. I do want to ask, Scotty Scheffler just won, I guess, the Byron Nelson, right? Bryson has been playing really well on LIV, and obviously we know Rory's had a bunch of wins this year, including the Masters. Out of those three, I guess it's obvious you think Rory is the favorite coming into this tournament, correct?
I mean, I think it could be any of those three guys. I think it really has a chance to set up to be an epic Sunday. I mean, Scotty's iron play is just way better than everybody else's. He doesn't bomb it quite as far as Rory and Bryson, but he hits his irons just way better than everybody else. So even if he's hitting from 183, he'll be sticking it close to the pin. Scotty's last tournament he played in was in Texas, and he almost set the record for lowest round on a PGA or lowest cumulative score in a PGA Tour event. Um, he does not have a long history at Quail Hollow. I think he played in like the Walker Cup there as a kid, but he hasn't ever played in the Wells Fargo or what's now the Truist. Bryson's only played there a couple times, but I think both times he was top 10. So you can expect good things out of Bryson. The only question he can certainly bomb it. He's going to cut all the corners that you can cut. He'll be close on holes where other guys are hitting from far away, but Bryson's iron play is inconsistent. And if he's not hitting his irons well this week, I don't think I'm not going to bet on Bryson this week, even though he's definitely clearly one of the favorites.
Speaking of Rory and Bryson, I was just reading an article on ESPN that just came out, something you probably already knew about, but I mean, obviously, we all knew they didn't talk, right, during that last round in the Masters. Like, Rory just kind of shut him out because he was being a competitor. And Rory said, if we're lucky enough to play with each other again on the last day, Bryson should be prepared to play in silence again. What do you make of that? Is that like
I think it's so bizarre that Bryson even brought that up. I think a ton of golfers don't really want to interact on a Sunday at the Masters. They want to stay in their own bubble, stay focused. I think that's super common. I'm not sure why Bryson brought that up. I don't think that meant anything. I don't think Rory was trying to freeze Bryson out. I think, Rory probably did know that Bryson loves to play to the crowd, and he probably just did not want to get involved in that. Just stay focused on his game plan, interact only with his caddy. And it's super common for golfers to do that. Some guys love to talk the whole time. It keeps them loose. And some guys just want to be in their own world. I saw a bunch of interviews with other golfers that were kind of surprised that Bryson made an issue out of that.
It's funny.
Bryson's a goober, dude.
He is. He seems like
totally.
Kind of yeah. Is he a douche?
I kind of think so. Yeah, he's not one of my favorites.
It was funny because when you watch the Masters, that opening round, like, it was sort of brilliant how Bryson came out. At least it seemed like it did, right? Like, he was engaged with the fans. He was hot off the first tee. He obviously couldn't keep it up, but it seemed like, had a method, right, to try to get
100%. He definitely, that was his strategy for sure.
Yeah.
I think he thought he could get into Rory's head if he could start off well, get the crowd behind him, because Bryson does have a lot of fans. I mean, he has a super popular YouTube channel. He's very active on social media. He's constantly doing little gimmicky things on TikTok. People like him. I mean, he's a good looking dude. He hits the ball 400 yards. He's like a meathead on the golf course.
Yeah.
And it's a nice change up from your typical pro golfer. So he does have a big fan base. And I think he thought that he could use that to his advantage. And that's probably partly why Rory just decided to, like, hey, I'm going to stay out of this.
All right. So back to the PGA, Jordan Spieth, you mentioned he's been playing finally for him, right? He's been playing some good golf recently. Where is he at coming into this tournament? Like, where do you think his head's at? And quite possibly, could he achieve the Grand Slam?
I would love it. I would certainly be rooting hard for him, but I don't think so. There's certainly been signs of life. He's driving the ball great, which is unusual for him. His iron play has always been a huge strength. And there's just, Jordan has like a little bit of magic sometimes. He can catch lightning in a bottle and just pull off insanely difficult shots. He'll chip balls in from the bunker, make 50-foot putts. I mean, he can really, when he gets rolling, he can really get rolling, but I just don't think he has the confidence. I've heard him interviewed a bunch. He's working on a lot of swing changes. Swing changes are really tough in golf. It's tough to trust this new process that you're trying to take on. And I'm not sure, he doesn't seem like mentally he's fully there and committed to his new game. I hope he does well, but I'm not betting on him.
What's the word around the tour? Like, are people excited to go to Charlotte for this? Is Charlotte are they like, oh, this is another example of how the PGA can be a little lame? It's
yeah. I don't think the players, I don't think they love this golf course. I think it's like a real grip it and rip it golf course. There's not very much strategy. It's really long, so you have to hit driver off every tee. There's just just try to hit it as far as you can and then figure it out from there. A guy that used to play on tour, Hunter Mayhem, had a great quote. He said, I guess I would say Quail Hollow is like a Kardashian. It's very modern, beautiful, and well kept, but it lacks a soul or character, which I think kind of sums up the way a lot of people feel about it. It's cool. It looks good on TV. I mean, I'm excited as a fan. They have the Wells Fargo, or now the Truist, there every year. It's always a great tournament. It's an elevated event typically. And, there's usually a lot of drama on Sunday. So I think it's going to be a great tournament.
It's actually the one place where I've been to a couple tournaments there. I went to the Wells Fargo a couple times, got wasted. It was back when I was drinking. I actually saw Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods play together at Quail Hollow. It was like,
wow,
leading up to the Wells Fargo.
The Pro-Am.
2007 or 2008. Right. It was pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So when you talk about this tournament, and I love how you're transparent about the possibility you could be wagering. Um, First, I want to ask you kind of a simple one. Give me a star who won't win, like somebody who people are talking about coming into this event, who you think that will not win.
Uh, that's tough. I guess I'll go with Xander Schauffele. He's coming off an injury. He's won the PGA last year, obviously, and he's a great player. Typically, I would be all over him, but he's coming off an injury, and he's just not hitting his driver well. His stats are not good off the tee, and I think to win this week, you're going to have to hit it into the fairway. It's too long of a course to be playing from the rough, so he certainly can do it. He's a good enough golfer, but if I'm going to fade one of the top guys, it'd probably be him.
All right, give me a sleeper that can win the tournament. Somebody who you really
I don't know
like
if he's
their
a
odds.
sleeper, but I think John Rahm, I think the whole narrative around him is that he's kind of done since he went to LIV. And I think, he's playing well on LIV. I don't really know what that means, but he comes in top 10 every tournament. I don't think he's missed the top 10 once. He played horrible on Thursday at Augusta, but then he kind of pulled it together. He played really well on the weekend. So there were some signs of life. 2 years ago, John Rahm was the best golfer in the world. I'm not sure that is complete. His game is completely lost. I would not be surprised at all if John Rahm comes in here and wins it this week, because I know he cares about his legacy. He hears all the voices in the media saying Rahm's cooked, he's washed, he's done, and he's a super competitive dude. I would think he's looking to come out and make a statement this week.
Are
And he
guys
has the game. He hits it far off the tee. He's incredible iron player. He can definitely get it done.
are guys going to LIV and getting lost in the shuffle? Is that happening?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what do you mean by lost in the
Well, they're
shuffle? I
getting
mean, I
paid,
haven't
right? It's
seen
almost like
DJ
it's
play a good round of golf in 2 years. Rahm has been non-existent. I don't know where Brooks Koepka is. Like,
yeah.
is he playing good golf? Like, nobody watches LIV. They get like 15,000 people
It's
watching
like
their
when people
tournament.
used to leave. I mean, this is like 10 years ago, but if a big time talent would leave ESPN and you'd kind of like when Michelle Beadle left for NBC
Yeah,
Sports, you know what I mean? Like, and you'd be like, wait, where does this person even go?
yeah,
And I think that they're getting paid, right? And they're playing golf, so they're
yeah.
happy. But I do think they get a little lost in the pop culture or zeitgeist or whatever of golf.
Big time. And I think, there's rumors that a lot of those guys want to come back, that
Yeah.
Bryson and Brooks and some of those guys want to come back.
Like, dude,
And
you watch
it'll be
golf all the
really
time.
interesting to see if they let them come back, because
You watch golf
they're
all the
obviously.
time. Do you
What's
put on
that?
live events?
No, I mean, I have in the past. I've let me check it out, and I can't watch it. It's corny to me. They have music going. It's just, I don't understand the scoreboard on the left side. They have some team thing that's like pointless. Nobody cares about. It's weak. The courses they play are weak. They're like resort courses that don't look good on TV. Uh, it's a bad product.
It's actually a bit of a bad look for the Saudis because they're going to get into like owning basketball teams. Like all that stuff's coming, right? And
Yeah.
like, and they got to just back off of like they got to let it be traditional. I think I don't know if they.
I understand what they were trying to do. I think there's a huge part of the golfing public, like your average Joe that plays golf, that rides around in a golf cart. They have tunes going, they're drinking beers. Like, that's the way they view golf. And the PGA Tour could be seen as like a little stuffy and, not relatable to your average golfer. So I could see how Liv thought, hey, maybe this will work out. Maybe this, people will love this vibe. But so far, it just hasn't translated.
Okay, a couple more. I know you got to go. Give me a top 10 lock.
A top 10 lock. I mean, I think Rory's a top 10 lock. I would be shocked if Rory doesn't play well this week. I mean, everything is setting up for Rory. And, a little bit of a more like dark horse top 10 that I think is really likely to play well would be Patrick Reed, who's on LIV, has always played great at Quail Hollow. I think he came in fourth at the Masters last month. So he's playing well, and the guy he's always done great at Quail Hollow. So I think I'm definitely going to bet on Patrick Reed to top 10.
Okay. And then give me your winner.
I'm kind of back and forth right now between Scotty and John Rahm.
Oh, okay. So
I think Scotty's gonna win. I think he's playing great. I think his iron game is too good. Remember last year at the PGA, he got thrown in jail, which was crazy.
Right.
He was playing so well leading up to that. It was almost like a done deal that he was going to win that tournament. He got totally thrown off, I'm sure, by spending the morning in jail, having to rush to the course, head right out to the tee. So I think this is kind of his revenge, and he's just so good. He's better than everybody else, and I think he's going to win.
One of the best broadcasts I ever had in Charlotte when I was doing radio. I got thrown in jail the night before, and I got out and they hustled all over the
motivated
studio.
you, lit a fire under you.
Yeah. Nobody was outside waiting for me when they let me out of jail. I can promise you that. All right, a couple things for you. We got you on the PGA. A little speed round for you. Pete Rose, does he get into the Hall of Fame?
He should.
Okay. Do you care?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. His stats are too good. He's too important to the game of baseball. He seems like a total scumbag in life. But is the Hall of Fame meant to? Is that meant to matter to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
To me, it shouldn't. Like the guy's impact on the game of baseball, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
What would your grandfather, Joe Rogers, say? Like Villanova football coach, lifetime sports guy. If he had to weigh in on Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, what would he say?
I think he would say he should be in.
Okay.
I think he was a Pete Rose fan, Charlie Hustle. He loved the way he played.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. NBA Finals. Who's going to win the NBA Finals?
Oh, man. I would have really bet a lot that the Celtics were going to win. I'm shocked that they're losing, and now Tatum's out. OKC probably has the best team. I think the Pacers Knicks is going to be a great series. I hope the Knicks win. I'm a big Villanova fan, but I don't think either of those teams could beat the Thunder or Jokic.
All right, Tony's going to get upset about this question because he's not here to answer it. How good is the Pope for Villanova right now? Like, is that like no? It's honestly, does that equal like 2 basketball championships won? Like, what's the equivalent?
That's a great question. I really don't know. Tony's got a lot of opinions about that. I think it's a huge deal. I think it's really just so cool for the university. I live right next door, and the day that it was announced, there was helicopters, people outside, bells ringing. It was really cool. And living in Philly, that's all anyone's been talking about for the last week and a half. And I know your mom has a relationship with the now Pope, which I think is so cool. And I'm proud of it as a Villanova grad. Like it's very cool.
It's very
and
cool.
I do think it will elevate Villanova in the national conversation. Maybe it gets us right up there with Notre Dame as like the elite Catholic university. We were already probably just a tier below, but I think this definitely gives us a boost.
I asked my mom, I was like, can I talk about it on the show? I said, do you want to do an interview? She was like, and I go, all right. She goes, don't say anything either. I was like, well, I kind of already did. What did you say? I told her what I said, and she was like, that's fine. You can say it, but not me. I don't want to be that person.
Right.
All right, so last one. Should they put Diddy in prison or under the prison, dude?
Dude, I have not really been following. I saw a little bit of Cassie's testimony yesterday. It sounds brutal, dude.
I mean, dude, this guy, who knew?
It's unbelievable. And it's funny because you look back and a lot of the rappers have been talking about Diddy like he's a scumbag for 10, 15 years, but I never knew what they were talking about,
Yeah.
But I think he's done. I mean, doesn't seem like there's any way out. There's too many witnesses, too many people popping out of the woodwork. I mean, the future's not bright for Diddy.
They interviewed yesterday. One of the witnesses was, and I think it was for the defense, was a adult film star who was brought into the threesomes with them. I mean, it was like crazy, dude. And this guy was like, he was kind of wishy-washy and he helped out the defense, but then he didn't help the defense because he had no credibility. It's a wild deal. I listened to a Dateline on it when I went to bed last night. It is like it's mind-blowing type theater.
Yeah, I got to check it out. I've been super into the Karen Reed trial. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're familiar with that. I'm
Come on,
so
dude.
into I'm so into that. So I have not been paying much
She's gonna get
attention to
off,
Diddy.
dude.
She should get off. I mean, I kind of think she did it, but the whole case that the Commonwealth made is just so full of holes. There's so much
Yeah.
shady shit going on with all the police officers. Like I don't see how they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she did it.
No, that's exactly right. You're looking at it from legal terms. There's no way. All right, 10:27. I know you got to get out of here. Murph,
Perfect.
unbelievable job, dude.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, good luck. Oh, by the way, if you were going to, you're going to play golf this afternoon. If you were going to play at Quail Hollow, a practice round today, and you were teeing off tomorrow at 7 a.m. when it starts, what do you think you would shoot? Real talk.
The way the course is set up for these guys,
Yeah.
100 and 100 at least.
No, that's not true.
And I'm a 5 handicap. Yeah, it's way too long for me. Way too long. That course would absolutely own me.
I believe
the
in you,
rough
Murph.
is super long.
I think you'd make the cut.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Thanks, Murph.
Later.